Hello, welcome to the morning news. Our top story takes us to Washington. The 45-day deadline for Congress to override President Obama's decision to remove Cuba from the unilateral list of sponsors of terrorism expires this Friday. Details as follows.
Lawmakers have made no attempt to block the president's decision. This means that after 33 years of unjustly being placed on the list, Cuba will be removed as a part of the historic normalization of ties between both nations announced in December. Havana recently hailed Obama's decision.
The unjust accusation will be removed. Cuba will be dropped off the terror list, and we will be able to appoint and have ambassadors.
The Cuban delegation recognized the just decision adopted by President Obama to remove Cuba from the list of states sponsors of international terrorism.
U.S. lawmakers were on an official visit to Havana. Cuba's official news agency reported that a U.S. senator leading the delegation, Democrat Tom Udall from New Mexico, said that there was a growing bipartisan support in Congress to lift the more than 50-year-old illegal blockade against Cuba.
There's growing bipartisan support in the Senate for all of these bills that I talked about, whether it's dropping agricultural restrictions, whether it's lifting the travel ban, whether it's the internet.
Still, many more meetings will have to take place as Cuba insists on the United States' end to its illegal occupation of Guantanamo Bay in Cuba and the immediate lifting of the embargo. But for now, the opening of embassies in each other's nation seems a greater reality.
Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has announced a major deal his government has signed with Russia's top oil producer worth around $14 billion. Russia's Rosneft will apparently have Venezuela's state-owned oil company PDVSA double its national production to 6 million barrels a day by 2019. The announcement was made after President Maduro met with leading Rosneft officials in Caracas.
We have had a great meeting to agree on investments of $14 billion to double the production of oil in the coming years and gas projects.
Mexico's powerful Jalisco Next Generation drug cartel allegedly released a recording swearing to take vengeance against the government for the apparent massacre of 42 of its supposed gunmen in Michoacan state a week ago. The authenticity of this video has not been verified, but it prompted the Attorney General to call on an emergency meeting to adopt measures to face any threat or action by the cartel. Early in the month, the drug gang carried out a series of deadly attacks across 2 states, killing various soldiers and police and gunning down an army helicopter. Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto misrepresented to authorities the circumstances under which he acquired one of his properties. A Reuters investigation revealed the discrepancy could add to the controversy surrounding its personal finances and further corruption scandals affecting his government. The new agency's report reveals the president lied regarding the price of the property. He stated it was worth only $5. Peña Nieto also declared 5 other properties were donated by him or to him by companies that it was later revealed were benefited by government contacts. His wife, Angelica Rivera, made a statement trying to clear her name.
Before all the accusations which have questioned my honor, I want to leave it very clear before you Mexicans that I have nothing to hide.
We now go to Peru, where clashes have been registered between protesters and the national police in the capital of Lima this Friday morning. A regional strike entered its second day Thursday as the state of emergency declared by President Ollanta Humala remains in place. The end of the strike in 8 Peruvian regions was in support of protests against the Mexican Tia Maria mining project in the province of Islay, where police recently attacked the protesters. At least 4 people died, dozens were injured, and many arrested. Students took to the streets in Chile to protest education reforms and against police violent repression that have left 2 people dead this month. Police fired water in an attempt to disperse the students' peaceful rally. Protests for education reform have been raging for years in Chile. President Michelle Bachelet has sought to end protests promising free education to the poorest a measure that would initially cover 60% of students. Peruvian President Ollanta Humala's former advisor, Martín Belaúnde, was detained by the Bolivian police. The official had escaped from house arrest before his extradition to Peru to face corruption charges. Belaúnde's disappearance, May the 24th, prompted President Evo Morales to replace his interior minister and police chief earlier this week. A volcano on a small Japanese island erupted, sending plumes of smoke thousands of meters into the sky and forcing 120 residents to evacuate. No injuries were reported despite the suddenness of eruption, which forced officials to divert some flights. Japan's meteorology agency warned further eruptions would occur and raised the volcano alert from 3 to 5. The volcano is located in a remote island 600 miles southwest of Tokyo. The scorching heat wave spanning India is starting to ease with a forecast of rain in some affected states. The temperatures have remained near 115 degrees Fahrenheit or 45 Celsius, increasing the death toll to close to 1,700. The heat has caused the pavement in many streets to melt and fires to many houses, but clouds are forming over parts of the most affected states, and pre-monsoon showers are likely to bring some relief in the following hours. Amid a growing corruption scandal and calls for resignation, FIFA President Sepp Blatter has arrived to the organization's Congress where his bid for a fifth term has been put to test this morning.
Blatter was followed by his only rival in the presidential election, Prince Ali bin Al Hussein, and UEFA President Michel Platini. Shame and humiliation have been brought on FIFA following the turbulent events as the leading soccer officials have been arrested and face extradition to the US. Blatter addressed the opening of FIFA's 65th Congress, calling on unity to combat corruption within the World Football Federation. Earlier, he assured he was not responsible for the scandal.
I know many people hold me ultimately responsible for the actions and reputation of the global football community, whether it's a decision for the hosting of a World Cup or corruption scandal.
Many international figures, including Blatter himself, have criticised Washington for going beyond its jurisdiction and violating international law in the FIFA case. Russian President Vladimir Putin accused Washington of meddling outside its jurisdiction in an obvious attempt to prevent FIFA head Sepp Blatter's re-election.
This is an obvious attempt to prevent Mr. Blatter from being re-elected as FIFA president, which is a grave violation of principles of international organizations.
Putin also said the US had pressured Blatter and other FIFA officials to strip Russia of its rights to host the 2018 World Cup. It now remains to be seen if Blatter is elected for a fifth term in FIFA, which he has headed since 1998.
More on these on our website, telesurtv.net/English. Thank you for watching and have a nice weekend.